So you're looking at the Sony 16 to 55 2.8G lens. You're thinking, man, should I really buy that lens? It's pretty expensive, but it's got the Sony compatibility, the Sony quality. Oh man, what do I do? About a year ago, that was me. I was looking around, looking all over YouTube, watching reviews, putting it in and out of my Amazon box, this lens. But instead, I picked up the Sigma 18 to 50. Little Sony ZEV10 with this Sigma 18 to 50. Because that was the cheaper alternative to this lens, was that Sigma lens. But like I'm learning in life, just buy the better, more expensive thing the first time, the thing you really knew you wanted. Because I had that Sigma 18 to 50, great lens, no doubt about it. I mean, it was just felt really good and everything, but there were tiny performance issues when it came to how the autofocus worked, the speed of the autofocus, and certain things like that that were just bugging me about it. Because I had some other Sony lens, like the 18 to 105, which is not nearly as nice as that Sigma, but it was just quicker, snappier with the autofocus. I don't know, there was just certain things I could tell that the Sony compatibility of that lens made it work better with my camera. So not 100% satisfied with that Sigma 18 to 50. I just kept looking at this lens online, kept looking and kept looking. And one day I decided to pull the trigger and pick this lens up. I was just gonna give it a shot and I was gonna try it and I was gonna see if I liked it more than the Sigma. And if so, I would sell off the Sigma. Well, sure enough, I got this lens. I liked it a lot more than the Sigma. I sold the Sigma, and now here I am with the lens that I thought I should have bought in the first place. So I picked this lens up for I think $1,300, which was just a fortune for me. I was really flabbergasted, but I had a really important project to me, a banquet for my work that we were going to be doing, and I wanted to have a good lens that can get some good nighttime photography or late night photography. So I picked this lens up and I have been very satisfied with it. This lens is nice and sturdy. You got a really good build, nice smooth focus ring, real smooth zoom ring here, autofocus manual, focus switch, and the little focus hold button right here. It's actually pretty small, pretty compact for what it is, but it's heavy. It weighs over 1 pound. So yeah, this is a chunky lens. It makes a really nice balance on the front of the Sony 6700. Like this combo, this is my favorite combo when it comes to photography. So this lens has a pretty nice opening in here. It's got some nice looking glass, 2.8 aperture, 67 millimeter thread, in case you have like ND filters and whatnot that you're using. It's just real nice piece of glass. You can feel the quality in this lens. Thank you, Sony. See all the little digital communication points here. This is a rubber seal on the outside here. It's got a nice little rubber seal. It's just a real nice lens. I'm real happy with it. This is like my one like high quality kind of do-all lens when I'm going to be going out to an event like a family or friend's wedding or some kind of event where I know I'm going to be taking a lot of photos. I'll take this lens and I'll strap it to my 6700 and get to work. So speaking of, earlier today I went out with the 6700 and this here 16 to 55, and I went to the town of Sprague, Washington and took a bunch of photos. So now we're going to jump over to the computer and see what those photos look like, and let me know what you think. All right, so this is right when I pulled up and parked my car. I heard a train coming, so I jumped out of the car right away. I think it was on mid or mid plus burst setting, and I just started taking photos of the train. So you can see here, it's looking pretty clear. I mean, my shutter speed 1/250, aperture 5.0, ISO 100. And this is just, I mean, jumping out of the car and going. Look, we got this pretty church up here. Let's see how clear that is. Aperture 5.0. And look, you can see the birds up there on top of the cross. Really good. Looks really good. Not too bad. So I was just bursting right here, just holding down the shutter. And so the shutter did stop at one point. I don't know how many pictures it takes consecutively before it stops, but I'm pretty sure I had it on mid plus. Let me go to my settings. Okay, so it was on drive mode, continuous shooting mid. So whatever that setting is there, drive mode, continuous shooting mid. So okay, looks like that was the last of that. I got all those BNSF rigs. Oh, that kind of looks cool. Almost enough to make it a video. So those turned out pretty cool, just for jumping right on the scene. So what's cool about this little town and why I chose this little town is because there's a parking lot and or just a lot in general. A lot of these old rigs that are just really cool looking to me. So what do we got here? This is an old International, old General Motors. Look at all the chrome and the bumper styles. It's just real cool. Zoom way in up here. I mean, look how clean this image is. It's very sharp. There's no like distortion or barrel distortion stuff going on. I mean, very good, very sharp lens. This cool old Dodge here. Real cool. Old concrete contractors. Like the rust on here, the patina. Very clean. Okay, so now we're at shutter speed 1/160, f4.0, ISO of 200. Yeah, this is cool. These are just some cool old trucks. So as you can see, this lens is real sharp. So this is a f4.0. So with our depth of field here, I'm focused on this front truck. By the time we get to the fourth one, it's starting to really get out of focus, and the background's getting some decent bokeh here. The f4.0. Cool looking photo. All right, so then I walked up the hill to this church. We got the sunlight coming in on it, looking real pretty. Yeah, this is just awesome. You can see that detail there. That's just awesome photo. Excellent detail. Cool piece of stained glass. Circular brickwork. Barbershop and baths. Another cool old pickup. Man, there was tons here. Full V8. This old Ford logo, the lightning bolt and the gear. That was pretty cool. I like this little chrome detail here. Pretty neat rig. This is just a very gangly, very gangly grill here. I just thought this was a real neat looking picture. Oh, I liked this wall and this door. This was a trip. I'm not sure what was going on here, but yeah. Interesting. It's like they started with the brick, or maybe the inside had the full brick facade and then the outside had the rock stacked, and you could tell these are local rocks from around the area, so pretty stinking cool. Antiques bought and sold. I like this crackling paint. Yeah, this lens just does a great job. It just gets real sharp. Here we go, something from a distance. We got this house here with these massive grain silos right behind it. Some vertical photos here. The Purple Sage Motel. Had to go and get a couple of the creepy photos of this place. Purple Sage Motel. Would you look at it? Here's their sign. So this town, I mean, it used to be booming at one point. Purple Sage Motel, no vacancy. Here we go. We got in the foreground, there was this shadow of the power pole in a house. I just thought it looked real cool on these silos. Kind of shows how big they are. So here I crossed over the tracks and another train came. So I was able to get another burst of the train going by. But now I'm on the dark side of the sun here in the shadow. All right, so here we go.
All right, let's see how those turned out. I was a little bit more focused on trying to hold everything instead of get good composition on that train burst. But let's see how they turned out, huh?
We are on that mid-burst mode. And let's see what we can get from this train coming by. Right now, this is 1/250, aperture at 5.0, ISO's all the way down at 125. Let's see what we can get here. Nice. My son loves trains and BNSFs, so he'll be very excited to see this. So you can see with all this motion, you got some blur around the lights here. Didn't really get it that crisp. I could have had a higher shutter speed to capture a little bit more clarity, but turned out pretty darn good. There it goes. See how much clarity we get here. Looking good. Boy, I got a lot of, there we go. And then the end of the train. So that was pretty cool, getting some more shots of another train while in town there. So here's a little snippet of some video that we got with the camera while we were in Sprague. I realized as I was leaving, I got in the car and realized I didn't get any footage yet. So I got some footage of a building while leaving. All right, so here's some video. This is a cool brick building. I didn't even notice this. Got the cool round windows. It's a pretty big building. Vacant. How cool would it be to restore this, huh? Turn this into some kind of big old studio or production shop. Cool building. Now I'm curious. Okay, here we go. Welcome to Sprague. Oops, gonna kill my engine. It did. Killed the engine. Stalled it. Jeez. What's wrong with this guy? Alright, maybe I should put down this video camera, huh? Okay, so that was a snippet of video I got while in Sprague. Let's take another little snippet of some video that I got in the office, zooming in at some of my little farm animals. little bit more of a low light scenario. All right, so here goes some video. Zoomed all the way in, 55 millimeter. Zoomed all the way out. Zoom all the way in. Zoom all the way out. So I do kind of consider myself a noob photographer still. I've been at it for like 3 years now with Sony cameras. I started with the Sony 6400, then I moved up to the 6700 right when it came out. But with this lens and camera combo, I feel very confident when I go out to take photos that I'm going to be getting some awesome quality photos. Super sharp photos, really good in focus photos. And I am guilty of using auto mode. When time warrants, when it's a high pressure situation, and I'm still kind of like learning, you know, how to just constantly rock it in aperture mode and switch between my aperture or my shutter speed or my ISO to get my exposure right, I'll just flip it to auto. And when I have this lens on, I know it's going to be sharp, it's going to be crisp, the autofocus is going to be fast. And that's what one of the main things that drove me to buy this lens was autofocus. So, do I recommend that you get this lens? Yes, I do. Is it worth it? Depends how committed you are to this hobby. If you're really diving in, you really enjoy this, you want some long-term investments, then yes, pick this lens up. It's a very high quality lens. You can always sell it on the used market. It's a very desirable lens, so I would highly recommend picking this lens up because you could always sell it again if you have to. But the quality of it, the build of it, and when you pair it with a nice camera, one of Sony's APS-C cameras, you're just going to feel really confident knowing that you're going to get some sharp photos. It's my only complaint about this lens is that sometimes the switch, when I switch it on my tripod, I throw my shot off and I have to readjust my shot. Rather than that, everything about this lens is fantastic. It's just solid. I'm very happy with it. All right, so I hope this helped. I will keep making videos, posting content about what it looks like getting photo and video from this lens, and I'm just stoked that I got it. And it's one of my favorite. I keep it on the 6700 almost a majority of the time. The second most used lens on this camera is my 70 to 350, and between this and my 70 to 350, oh boy, yeah, like this combo right here, I mean, this is where it's at. This combo right now is what goes in my camera bag when I go out and about. I resisted taking this to Sprague just because I only wanted to use this. So this is an awesome combo. I highly suggest you scoop this up and you will not be disappointed. You will be very stoked. So once again, thank you for joining me on Neff-Tekk. See you next time.